missing a historical opportunity. What my fans say. All my fan base will abandon me.
Can we see that? We need to be able to see this. Can you see it clearly?
Yeah, Kire.
You can see it clearly. Okay. So, you're gonna record. Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. So, good evening. This is October the 31st, 2019, and today is Reformation Day. It is also Brexit Day, the day that the United Kingdom was supposed to leave the European Union. However, that hasn't happened. But that's okay, because we're here to declare the Rod of Iron Kingdom. The Rod of Iron Kingdom coincides with the Reformation Day, which is a very providential fact. And Martin Luther started a revolution. He started something that changed society, changed the world, and brought a total a rebirth to people's lives, to the society, to the nations, and to the world. And that is what we are declaring here today, because today is the end of the society that we have had in this nation for too long. And we are declaring, like Martin Luther, he had, how many theses did he have? 59? Something like that. Well, we have about 12 or 13.
95.
95. It was 95 theses. Well, we have about 12. We are declaring now that the people of this nation are fed up of political correctness and things like speech crime. Second, the right, people do not have a right not to be offended, but people do have the right of free speech. Third, we must get rid of the TV license and preferably the BBC at the same time, because we've had enough of their fake news. Fourth, we will uphold parental rights. No more teaching about homosexuality and gender fluidity in schools. Children do not need this, and parents have the right over what their children should learn about these things. Third, stop using schools for social engineering. This must end in our society from now on, and not using schools for promoting the political ideology of the day. And we want to remove the postmodern agenda that has been driving the schools and our public, underlining our public institutions and our schools. The postmodern progressive, so-called progressive liberal ideology must end in our nation from this time on. And we are sovereign citizens determined that the liberal establishment has no longer validity in this nation, and that has been proved by the antics of this rogue parliament behind me over the last 3 years, and the British people, particularly those who voted to leave the European Union, have had enough of it. 6. Stop using public institutions for propagating the LGBT agenda. If people want to promote LGBT issues, well, that's up to them, but we will not use public institutions for that. And we want to establish a PR voting system so that our parliament reflects the actual people of the nation. Also, we should, in our schools and in our society, teach and uphold our written constitution, which we do have, and stop propagating the lie that we don't have a written constitution. We do have a written constitution, 1688-89, the Bill of Rights. It's sitting there in the library, in the building behind me, and we need to start understanding that the Americans built their constitution on our constitution, and therefore we need to realize that again. And in schools we need to start teaching British history again. That means the history of all the monarchs and from ancient times until now. We need to understand our own history, and also we should teach the geography of our nation. All children should know where all the main cities are, all the regions and the counties and so on. We should know our own nation, and we should also return to Christianity in our nation. Our nation is a Christian nation. At the moment, our nation is in fear of losing its roots, losing its heritage. The Muslim population, they practice their religion and they follow their leader. However, we have thrown our religion out the window and we don't follow our leader. But our leader is Jesus Christ. He established the principles and the values upon which our nation is founded, upon which our nation grew and developed and became strong. And therefore, we need to return to those. Our nation is filled with crime, is filled with all kinds of problems. Changing the politics, changing the parliament will not solve our problems. We have to change ourselves on the inside, and that requires our faith. It requires understanding what Jesus taught. It's not difficult, it's quite easy. You don't have to be a massive churchgoer to understand those things. So this is the thesis which I am going to post on the Parliament gates where the Queen goes in, just as Martin Luther posted his thesis on the church door in Gutenberg in 1577. So I declare from this day on, in this nation, the rod of iron kingdom established by what they call him the second king, the pastor Hyung Jin Moon in America. He is the one who is preaching, he's teaching about the culture of the shepherd and the rod of iron. The rod of iron, we establish a good nation, a good culture centered upon the Second Amendment. We uphold our Christian values through the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and taking responsibility for our society, taking responsibility for our community. And he is preaching this, he's preaching a worldwide movement of sovereign citizenship and a worldwide movement for the Second Amendment for all human beings. The right to defend oneself is a human right, to defend oneself from evildoers coming into your home, and the state also coming into your home in an unwanted fashion. This should be the right of all human beings throughout the world, and this is how God rules on the earth, and how we build a good nation, a good world. And he is doing this on behalf of his father, his late father, the Reverend Hyung Moon, who brought the divine principle, who brought us an understanding of God's purpose of creation, who brought us an understanding of the fall, what it is, and the history of restoration and the preparation that God made through the chosen people to receive Jesus Christ, and how Jesus Christ was betrayed, how Jesus Christ was not received by his people, and then went the way of the cross, sacrificial way, and Christianity is the second Israel upon which the second coming returns. So this is the declaration that I make to all of you. I commend the pastor Hyung Jin Sean Moon in America. He is preaching, he's a great guy, he's a down-to-earth guy. and he's clever, he's smart, well educated, and he's showing a good way for all Christian people and all people of conscience on this earth how we can build a better and good society. So I commend to you the rod of iron kingdom. I declare it in this nation from now on, and a reformation in this nation, that we are going to move forward. We're going to get rid of this stupid liberal elite, and the normal people of this nation, the working people of this nation, who are smarter than that lot. We are going to establish our sovereign citizenship from now on. I declare this on 31st of October 2019. I will now stick our thesis on the gate of Parliament, where Her Majesty the Queen goes in, so that when she sees it, she can consider her position, her role as the monarch, to protect the religious and civil liberties of her subjects from, funnily enough, the Parliament. That is actually what our Constitution says. That is what the role of the monarch is. She's not supposed to be a powerless person sitting in a castle. She's supposed to take responsibility. She hasn't done that, I'm afraid to say, wonderful person though she may be, and that's one of the reasons why we're in the predicament that we are today. So I now go over and I do the deed. Thank you very much.
Go across where the kettle's wet and get a kettle coming. Filming up. Go up to the gate, just stand there. Good.
God bless the United Kingdom, God bless America, and God bless God.